All right, we're here at the Real Estate Roundtable with IPRG. We're back, and we have Yanni Marmarou from our New Jersey office here to talk about what's happening in Jersey.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Yanni.
Thank you for having me back. It's
100%.
It's good to be back.
And I'm joined with Luke Sproviero. This is Derek Bestrick. So I was having a conversation yesterday with a pretty sizable owner in the market, and he didn't know if this was like a hot summer for real estate or he thought it might be a little bit of a slow summer. And I was telling him that it was the furthest thing from slow on our end. But in New York, we've seen a ton of activity. It's been, I'd say, a very hot real estate summer.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see what's going on in Jersey. What are we seeing?
It's good to see you guys.
For sure.
I miss you guys.
I miss you
too.
too.
The last time I was here, we were here, and now we're across the river now. So we've got our office in downtown Jersey City. So yeah, I mean, I was talking to a couple of the guys. Everyone was asking me like, "How's your summer going? What's been going on?" I'm like, just been working. Like, we haven't had like a serious vacation. Probably take some time off at the end of August, but it's because of everything you said. I think like we have been so busy, and I think, you know, when you think about like why that is or what are the reasons, right? And you look at like last year, I think a lot of people, the conversations that we were having last year, like leading up to the election with Trump and everything, is that a lot of people were kind of like waiting. They were trying to see what was going to happen and then what was going to happen with rates. A lot of the conversations I had, people were just saying, "Oh, we're going to push off to January because they think that rates are going to magically fall. Mm-hmm. Like we think Trump's going to get elected and then rates are going to come down," as if he has some kind of, you know, lever or tool that automatically happens. So come January, February, all of a sudden all of these like 8 rate cuts and everything else that we were anticipating. I think we've had 0 rate cuts this year so far.
I think 10 years gone up.
Yeah, I don't think we've had one rate cut. We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
So check me on that. But there was obviously, I think, a lot of anticipation that were going to be all of these rate cuts, and you know, cap rates were going to fall and everyone's going to come back to the market. And then you come January, February, March, none of that happens. Mm-hmm. So people that were kind of in a free like holding pattern for us have now said, "That's it, we're ready to sell." So there's been a ton of activity. So it's always this game, right? The first step for us is always identifying serious sellers to try and educate them on what their properties are worth in this new market, which I think has really now become like the new normal. Like, this is really what the market should be. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've been extremely busy. We have a lot of activity. I was just looking, obviously, before we came here to try and get an understanding on where we are with our current listings and what's under contract. We have more that's either contract pending or under contract than we have actually listed. So that's a good sign. We're trying to just...
That's the same in New York for us.
We're trying to just get these deals now across the finish line.
Yeah.
So it's sad, right? We're halfway through the summer, I feel like.
Definitely.
I really haven't been able to do that much time with the kids. I've tried to sneak out and golf whenever I could, but the reality is that it's been a very busy summer. So I think it's better than being extremely slow summer and having an awful summer. So
for sure,
it's been good.
No, it's been exciting from our end, obviously, to have the Jersey office. You know, going over there, I love going over there, right off the path.
Yeah, we're kind of in between both.
Yeah,
in between Exchange and Grove.
It's every time I go there, it's crazy how close it is. I mean, it takes us. You know, our office is downtown Manhattan. I'm there in 15 minutes. It's a quick walk. It's an awesome office, so it's been great to see.
And you know, thinking about it too, right? So I don't know if it was right when I came here when we started this. I think it was, but we've really grown with people as well.
For sure.
You know, we've and I think there's probably been an opportunity to grow even faster with more people. I think it's kind of a small, tight knit group. There's 10 of us, and we really try and like emphasize like quality, because when you're in a small group like that, you want people. It's like your family.
100%.
You know, you come into an office, you want to be able to look at everybody and, you know, appreciate the people that you work with. And I think we have that. I think we have a very good culture, dynamic, everyone. So we grew from 3, now there's 10. And I think we'll continue to grow as we identify like the best people. So we just hired somebody else last week. He was, I think he kind of fits right in, John, with our office. So yeah, I'm excited about kind of, you know, what's been going on. And if you look at it, right, from what's been happening over the past couple of years, you look at like, say, 22 to 23 for the product that we sell. in just New Jersey, and in terms of like the numbers, right? I want to say that you saw 21 at like $12 billion worth of sales from $1 million to 25. That's really, I don't try and focus on the numbers over that because that's a big percentage of the sales in Jersey. So you go from like 12 billion, give or take, to 11 billion, and then as you saw rates completely spike in 22, which was really the second half of 22 around September, I remember because there were deals that I was working on that just completely, people put pencils down. You saw a tremendous drop in volume from 22 to 23. It went from like 11 billion to 6 billion, right? Give or take. And then you saw in 24 that number start to rise a little bit, right? So we went from about 6 billion to about 7 billion. And already this year, from the last number that I saw, we're at close to 3.8. And the numbers are always kind of trailing because you're getting more data, you're getting everything updated. So if I had to make a guess, just with the activity as us being an example, I imagine that 25 is going to be better than 24, and God willing, 26 will be better than 25. We'll kind of get to a point. I would project that, in our markets, for what we see from like $1 million to $25 million, it's probably somewhere around, like on a good average year, about $9 to $10 billion in the state of New Jersey for the stuff that we sell.
Nice.
So yeah, things have been good. I think they're going to be better. I think we'll probably talk about a lot of the different changes and things that are kind of like on the horizon, or what people are anticipating or kind of seeing coming down the pipe.
Okay.
New York is always a big driver for what happens for us in Jersey. I think that what COVID did was it really kind of made people rush to obviously a lot of other places besides just Jersey, right? People went out to Long Island, people went up to upstate, but we had a lot of people that came out to Jersey and have now permanently stayed. Yeah. And in terms of like developments, I think we probably talked about this the last time, but this has only accelerated. You've just seen more and more developments happen along train lines, transit oriented, and that has really continued to continue.
You feel like that's going on throughout the state?
Yeah.
What is it? The Jersey Transit, the Path, are those the main transportation arteries?
More so Jersey Transit, because Path has been here for a while.
Okay.
It's in a lot of the cities, but it's still very important. I mean, what's been happening with Journal Square, obviously,
that is so crazy what's happening in Journal Square.
The towers, you mean?
It's like a brand new city's popping
insane.
up.
And originally, a few years ago, they had those main towers.
Yeah.
And now they look...
The two Kushner towers.
Yeah, now they look like dismal compared to what the other towers. They're like small.
You can see it from here.
Yeah,
you can,
sure.
The entire skyline has changed.
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah, look at that giant glass building out there.
No, it's not.
That thing's beautiful.
It's nuts.
And there's more and more coming in. What you can see in the horizon, it's not Journal Square, it's downtown, but Tishman Spire is building a new tower. LaFrac is more about closer to Hoboken and Exchange Place with the stuff that they're doing. They have a 46-story tower that's coming in, and they have a ton of other projects.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the institutional groups have really started to focus on like downtown Jersey City. There's a question as to like where a lot of these renters are coming from. I mean, anecdotally, like if you walk around places like Journal Square in downtown, the demographics have really changed. It's like a whole new pool of people that are living here. So
what are you seeing?
It's younger. Quite frankly, there's a lot of Asian, and I think a lot of that.
Journal Square?
In Journal Square, yes, but also significantly in the downtown. And I don't know if that, I know that they signed a number of leases with a couple of colleges because they just didn't have enough housing here in New York City, and so they signed leases on some of the bigger buildings. But I think it's just been a big shift, and
for sure,
you've seen it with rents. Although
are these new developments getting occupied
100%
at good rents?
The rents are good. I think what we're starting to see is it's not rents falling. It's more of a stabilization, or it's kind of like a flattening.
Do you think there's an oversupply?
A lot of people have said that for Jersey City for years. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't because the other thing is this, right? Like think about it with you guys. I know you guys have kids. I'm in this boat right now too. To go and buy a house right now, or to go and buy another property, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
There's not enough
expensive.
Inventory, and the people that do have any kind of inventory that they want to sell, they're asking ridiculous pricing, and that's New Jersey's not immune to that either. Mm-hmm. So what are people left to do? They're all renting. So I don't think the whole issue with supply, I don't think at all it's oversupplied. I think what happened was COVID, we saw rents drop like 20% when they fell. And a lot of people were thinking like doom and gloom, this is over. And then they shot back up like 30%, you know, from the low.
Yeah.
So you started to see gradual increases, that numbers that just were unsustainable, 5% year over year growth, 10%. And now we're starting to see not necessarily that same growth. It's slowing down, which I think it was probably.
Well, I remember like
probably
the original spike. I remember when Kushner built those buildings in Journal Square, for example. They were like the first ones to the game, like fully amenitized, brand new buildings. And I remember like the studio rents really stood out to me. They were just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't think those have gone down, but since then there's been so much building. I agree with you. I think it's starting to flatten out.
Yeah.
Like how can you pop again?
Yeah,
And
studios,
there's a lot. Yeah.
you know, so the Irby building that Iron State built was predominantly mostly geared for like smaller spaces, studios, to drive up rents. COVID, they walked away from some of those projects because it was almost as if people were like, they didn't want to be in small quarters, they wanted bigger spacing.
Yep.
That's gone. That's all come back now.
Yeah.
So, you know, people are still, now they're back to like, just give me, there's been a big shift too, which I thought was kind of interesting. You're starting to see it, especially, it's kind of now tailored towards the demographics of the people that are living there, right? You used to see amenities and different features being brought into these buildings that you would have thought would have catered to just a general population, but that's not happening. Like, for example, pools, right? These guys always used to think, oh, we have to put a pool into our building. They start putting in pools, the maintenance and everything else that comes with it, they find out no one's using the pools.
No one uses the pools.
Nobody's using the pools in these buildings.
Amazing.
And you used to think like, oh, you know, what are the main features for this building versus that? Now it's more about like, well, what are the actual common spaces? Because I want to get out of my apartment, but I don't want to leave my building, or, you know, things like that where I can still utilize my building, you know, golf simulator, things like that. In downtown Jersey City, I've talked to developers that are more focused on doing like card rooms because they've noticed that a lot of like, going back, a lot of the Asian population like to come together and they play games and cards and whatever else, you know? So these are different things that are kind of changing there, where people are kind of getting smart as the demographics change. But, you know, overall, I think what's happened, we have seen a slowdown. I mean, because it was just out of control with development sites. We were very lucky. We sold a lot of development sites. Right now, we have 3 projects that are totaling over 700 units that are going to be brought. If you kind of do the math, that's like close to, once they're all built, it's going to be like over $300 million worth of like built product in Jersey City. So there's still a lot that's happening, but I think it's much more refined, much more selective. And then you'll always have the guys that are doing like some of the smaller deals, conversions, the condos. So it's been good. I think there was definitely a period of time where people were kind of like stepping back, waiting, but I think that period's over. I think people are adjusting, and they have to. You know, if you got loans and you got rates, you got to move forward with what you have right now. So
you're seeing a lot of activity down the Jersey transit lines, or is this still like the path, like these?
Yeah. So
like Newark and everything in between.
There was so much development there. What's happened to a lot of towns, and this is what kind of leads into like what we were going to talk about. There's been a lot of shifts in administration. Like people have lost their positions in certain cities as mayors because they gave too much, and a lot of the residents were like, this is, you know.
Gave too much what?
They gave too much development. They brought too much development in a lot of these suburban towns that are somewhat anti-development. So another thing that happened in Jersey over the past year was they came out with the latest round of affordable housing, basically delineating which municipalities were short and which kind of met their requirement. And there's a lot of towns
short on affordable
that aren't providing enough affordable. So what ends up happening is developers identify these and they say like, you know, that's a great piece of land. They don't have enough affordable in this town. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an application and almost force it into the town. So certain towns are dealing with that as we speak. And that was something that came out at the beginning of the year. So yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting to see with a lot of these. I mean, we took on a site that was primed right on a transit line that we thought would be perfect. It previously had conceptual site plans that were approved by a previous administration, and then a new administration came in. They were like, no, there's no way we would ever approve this for 165 units. And we were like, well, we just brought to you what you guys had already approved. So now we got to start to think more creatively as brokers, right? Now we're trying to see potentially if we could do assisted living or some other form, senior housing, something else that will still provide good return for our sellers, but also make sense
For sure.
in the community. So,
Wow.
yeah. And then, what else are we seeing, or what else are we selling?
Yeah.
Obviously,
What is selling, or what are we selling in New Jersey?
In industrial, which was like, obviously all of the institutions started to pivot towards that, because they saw what was happening with all the containers and the demand from shipping,
Last mile shipping, whatever.
Yeah, that has slowed down, but not to the point where I think you're seeing like fire sales. I think you're just seeing things that are adjusting to whatever this is, and a lot of that are more shallow bay. That's like the hot term that everybody wants right now. It's basically taking a large site that has a lot of convenient docks and bays where people can kind of come in and out. So you're taking 50,000 square feet and chopping it up into smaller units. You're getting higher economies of scale because you can rent more for smaller spaces. And the truth is, I would say, I'm by no means an industrial leasing expert, but you just see it with the stats and the data, is that over a certain square footage, people just aren't renting. It's very hard to move product that's like over 50,000, over 100,000. And a lot of that stuff was moving during COVID. People were just taking space. So I think the institutions are now changing how they're looking at stuff. The iOS is still hot. We have to go pitch something later on this afternoon. That's an iOS site. So it's just
What is iOS?
Industrial outdoor storage. So it's just guys that are parking containers and trucks in certain areas, because municipalities are also pushing back on that. They don't want all the trucks in certain towns.
Didn't we list like a cooling, like
Refrigeration.
refrigeration site?
We sold.
Is that hot? That's interesting.
We sold that. So typically that would sell to like another user. Right?
Yeah.
This guy operated for years. He was like an Italian guy that had a cheese business. And he ended up selling it, and he sold the whole business to another entity, and he no longer needed the site. So we would have thought the highest and best user was going to come in, be somebody similar or somebody that needed cold storage. It was actually an investor. So an investor buys it vacant, and he just leased it up. So it's
it's necessary. People are going to want that.
100%.
It's got to be rare or not that common.
There's a significant cost that goes into taking like a warehouse and converting it into cold storage.
Yeah.
So that was a good success story. That guy's constantly calling us, asking us what our next deal is.
Yeah.
And but I think everything for industrial, it really kind of depends on location, ceiling heights, all of the factors that kind of go into making it whether or not it's desirable now. But retail has been relatively pretty strong, I would say. Once again, it's all kind of based off, location.
Yeah.
And like the gentleman that's calling me right now, we've had some interesting offers that have come on some interesting sites, stuff that we never thought that we would move. That we have.
Give us examples.
We have a parking lot that was prime for a development site, and it was on an acre. But the problem was, it has 215 spaces. It's in a place called Union City, which is very, very hard to develop. It's hard to convert like an apartment, let alone build.
I've heard about Union City.
let alone build like 20 stories on it. So we have this parking lot prime for development. We find out that part of the deed, these 215 spaces, you can't just stop the people that are parking there. You'd have to find parking for them if you wanted to develop on the site.
It's crazy.
It's the densest place. I think Union City in the whole world is like in the top 10 list of most densely populated places on Earth.
Okay.
That's how many people are there. So parking, things like that are obviously in demand. You can't just take 200 people and just say, go park somewhere else for 2 years as we build a tower here, or whatever the case is. But we found a guy that just felt like, I'll figure it out. And he made it an extremely attractive offer. We had to get the seller to understand how attractive it was. And that's like a new, fresh deal for something that we never anticipated that we were going to. We were trying to do all sorts of JVs and everything out. It's like sometimes you look at things, and as you get through it into kind of like making the sausage, you realize like this is not what I thought it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what else? I mean, a lot of different development stories that have all taken kind of different turns. But luckily,
What happened with that diner that you were showing us a few months ago?
That's TBD. We have a couple of offers right now. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
What's the play there? Just put in another tenant, or?
the family's very motivated to sell, so I won't go into too many details. But we've got some users that we're looking at it as keeping it as a diner, which is a big heavy lift because it was very, very old. We've had EV companies that want to come and pay a premium, but the problem is it just takes so long to get those approvals because you're dealing with state agencies and getting power and whatnot. So that those offers have been a struggle. And then we've had guys that want to do, it's on a highway, so they want to use it for cannabis in a town where it was the first town to outlaw, saying we're not doing cannabis. But meanwhile, they're realizing the town north of us does, the town south of us does. We're just kind of throwing money away because the guys that are buying cannabis are going through our town, or coming from our town to go buy it somewhere else. So maybe we should. So
Wow.
Yeah, there's been things like that. Yeah,
All right, cool.
and I think, for us, the way we operate, right, geographically, everyone's been kind of focused on specific areas. So depending on where they are, they're selling whatever that product type is predominantly, moving in those markets. So everyone kind of has like their own little individual focus. And it's been a big change. I came into this completely as a broker, and now everything has really kind of more shifted towards trying to help these guys, manage them, trying to get them to develop their own book of business and understand all of the pitfalls. And it was something different for me. I wasn't, I was kind of like a lone wolf that was just used to like going out there, do your own deals.
Yeah.
So you kind of take a step back to help nurture these guys and watch them grow. And I think the guys that I have are all worth it. Like they've all kind
They
of,
are.
I would agree with you.
we have a good team. So it's like you're investing in guys to watch them grow. And so far it's been good. So
No, it's definitely a really good crew there.
I think now is
It's
the time.
important. So do we here. I mean, that's a big part, right? You brought it up earlier in the podcast, but we're here most of our days, more than our houses, more than anything else. So we don't want to be in these offices with people that we don't like,
Yeah, right.
or that we don't see eye to eye with, or whatever. I mean, we
Yeah.
spend all our time with them. So I think both offices have done a great job having a really, really good crew and people that want to work here. And obviously, I want to work with everyone here. I know you do as well. So
I also hear from clients throughout the market
Yeah.
and just people in general that they really like our brokers that we have here.
It's hard not to.
They have good experiences. They feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They like the energy, the attitude. I mean, you just hear it time and time again. The
Yeah.
guys are deal makers. They're hungry.
Yeah.
But people really like the people that work here.
It's
Yes.
funny you say that, and I'll specifically call him out because I was proud of him when this happened. Right, like I tell these guys things. We're in this new age where everything is about like AI and emails and whatever else. I'm like, there's nothing that beats walking into some guy's office and introducing yourself and giving them some information about the company, shaking their hand, looking them in the eye, and talking to them
100%.
about who you are. So there was a group in Bergen County. I never heard of them. The guy was so excited. It was kind of weird. He was so excited to meet me. Come to my office. So I bring Nick with me, and we walk in, and Nick is like, I've been here before. Like, I've tried to get in with these guys. I walked into their office cold. And as soon as we walk in, guy says hello to me, and he looks at Nick, and he's like, you've been here before. And I try to implore that in these guys, like, this is what you need to do, because how else is, you call somebody, especially with you guys, because I remember what it was like to work in a market like Brooklyn or New York, which, I did years ago, cold calling. I tell this story all the time, right? You cold call 9 o'clock in the morning, you're all pumped, you got the caffeine in your system, you're like, I'm going to make fucking so much money today.
Yeah.
And you go and you call a guy and he answers the phone, he's like, you're the 10th guy to call me today. Like, what do you got? And you're like so deflated because you're thinking like, oh shit, like, now I got to,
For sure.
You go into Jersey, it's not like that. We have different kind of levels of competition. So it's like to go in front of somebody and to meet them in person, it's completely different than just trying to be another guy that's calling.
100%.
So, that was also part of the reason why I felt it was important for us to have our own office there.
Yeah.
Like, you guys got to get out into the markets. You got to canvas. You got to go meet with people face to face. So I think it's starting to finally pay off.
And a lot of people don't do it. People don't want to leave their office, right? And today, it's so you can get people's numbers way easier. Like when I started, it was hard, right? Like
Yeah.
you got someone sell, there wasn't a lot of people talking to them, right? Like you had their sell, not a lot of people did. It was
Yeah.
good. Now it's way different, and to have a real relationship, you need to go out and meet these people.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna just give you the business without meeting you. And
And
if
I-
they do, you don't really want it because it's probably not a good opportunity.
I get this all the time, especially
Yeah.
from like the new guys, right? They're always trying to think of like, what's the easiest way? Like,
Yeah.
what can I do? I got to get a sale. I got to get a listing.
Yep.
And I try and be as deadly honest from the beginning, because it's like, if you lead somebody on a path and then they start to realize how hard the business is, they're gonna die immediately anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I tell them there is no easy path in this business.
Yeah.
The easy path is understanding the information, knowing the sales, knowing the players, knowing the markets. That's the easiest way, because once you know that and you get in front of somebody, they're going to realize that you're the guy that they need to go with. So if you want to take the easiest way, just learn the markets as quick as possible. So I think that's a struggle. I think that,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a cultural
I like
thing.
that.
I don't want to sound like the old man in the room, but like you notice that with like a lot of the younger guys, they're always just looking for like what's the quick, easy way. And in this business, it's just, I don't think it just doesn't exist, you know?
For sure.
So I give them guidelines, things you should target, what you should be looking for, potential signs. We talk about it all the time.
Yep.
But other than that, it's hard work. Just getting your ass out into people's offices and meeting with them. And
Even when it's hot,
Yeah.
like these months, it's
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
You don't want to get on the subway or the path right now.
yeah, tomorrow's going to be brutal. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think overall things have been very positive. I think there's a lot of change that's coming here. We're dealing with it as well with this election year. There's been a lot of talk. I think I was out to dinner the other night with a friend of mine, very wealthy guy. He's lived in New York City for years, and he said to me, if this Mamdani guy wins, now his whole business is
Yeah.
here. He's got one of the most, I won't mention it, but if it's like completely, you see it every time you walk out on the streets. He's got a very big interest in the city. He said, if Mamdani wins, that's it for me. I'm out. I'm moving out. And I said to him, why now? Like, this has been something that's been happening. This culture has been leading to this. Now all of a sudden you're going to bail out of your huge condo or whatever in New York City. And I've been hearing that from a lot of people. So for us, we look at that as kind of great. Can we capture more market share? Are there going to be really more people shifting over? I'd be curious to see what you guys have been hearing and thinking. What's been the mindset of people knowing? What are their thoughts on what they think is going to happen?
I mean, it's a good thing you're bringing up, right? Like Jersey, it's not as bad as New York, right? The multifamily laws, although there are laws, right?
Yeah.
Like it's rent-controlled housing. You get a vacancy, you improve it, you renovate it, you can raise the rent. You can't do that in New York anymore.
Yeah.
So
We have each municipality has their own individual sets.
For
It
sure.
could be different from just one little tiny thing, a certain percentage in this town, to no, you can't raise it at all, to we don't keep track of that stuff.
100%.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really depends on what the municipality is.
Well, for
our
sure, like
laws.
Jersey City, though, I was referring to, right?
Yeah.
Like Jersey City, I know the bottom line is it's better. It's still bad, but it's better than New York. So yeah, with Mamdani, if he does come in here,
Yeah.
Jersey's literally obviously doing very well. It's very close. Like
Yeah.
you could definitely see some investment dollars going over there if they haven't already, right? Like the rent laws that passed here in 2019 is enough already.
You think
right?
income earners in the city are going to start leaving the city and going
I'll
to
tell you
Jersey
this.
or
We
Westchester,
have
Long Island?
3 or 4 people in this office that live in Hoboken, so I'm up and down on the rents there because they're all leasing apartments, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Double digit.
The rents.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
double digit
Yeah.
rents in Hoboken for 3 beds. Like it was not the case a few years ago.
Yeah.
Jersey City, obviously we know the rents.
Yeah.
All these places, the rents are way higher than I thought.
Yeah.
And these are all people coming into the
Do you
city.
think that's happening in Westchester and Long Island as well?
I mean, the housing market, obviously, in Connecticut, Long Island, Westchester is insane. It's not. There's definitely pockets of Westchester that have a big rental presence, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not up and down on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, the housing market is insane. Like,
But do you think people are leaving the city to go to these?
It's been happening for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been happening since 2020.
If you listen to people the way they talk now, they're, it's they're making it clear now more than ever that if that happens, that
Let's see what happens.
I mean, I brought this up to you the other day.
It's hard to
at
say.
an event.
Yeah. I personally think, hey, if that does happen, it's just going to create different opportunity. This place is not going anywhere. No, they've seen good times, bad times. People will always come back.
That's the thing. Is
Yeah,
there's
but-
always opportunity. Like the ebbs, the flows. Like I've been doing this I've been in real estate in New York for 20 years, and I've seen like all sorts of things that I thought were going to be really bad, and in some cases they were bad for investment dollars. But then it also creates opportunity. Like
Sure.
Like the money, the liquidity just flows.
Yeah.
It finds a path, a
Yeah.
way.
The issue with our clients, though, I mean, for us, I agree, right? New York, after COVID, 9/11, whatever you want to discuss, it
Yeah.
always does come back.
Yeah.
The issue is a lot of these people that own buildings, they're of an age now where they're at retirement age. Like, you don't see like 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds owning these multi-million-dollar buildings. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously there are some.
Yeah.
But it's mostly people in their mid-60s, 70s, 80 years old. And
Right.
they look at, okay, they're going to elect this guy. It's definitely going to be 4 years of, like, bad stuff. I'm like, at retirement age.
Right, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I got to go.
Yeah.
Like, we were at a number of events. Like, you look around, you know the landlords, you know their age. Like,
Yeah.
they're looking for an event. Like, they're looking to retire and take it easy.
Right.
So they don't have the luxury of waiting it out as of other people.
Do you think that's creating sale opportunities that we're experiencing?
100%.
You think you're seeing real time sales?
Yeah, I think there's people that
Where people are like, I'll just take my money now and call it a
100%.
day.
Like if they thought, it's just going to be, Mondami's going to come in or X person's going to come in and it's going to be different in 2 years, they would obviously wait it out. But we know that's not the case, right? These things need like 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
So they don't have that and they don't care, right? Like they're not going to wait until they're 5 years old or like it's now. Like
Yeah.
it's a sign,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People could wait for interest rates because interest rates could be a 6-month, 1 year thing. I'll wait it out, right? Like, Trump's coming in, I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true because you could wait that out. It's a short-term thing.
Yeah.
People now are talking about interest rates coming down by the end of the year, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone knows there's going to be a cut. Trying to force Powell out. Like there's someone else
Right.
going to come in, they're going to cut rates. That's going to happen. It's either going to happen soon or not.
Right.
But a mayor coming in, having to wait through him, and then seeing how bad it is. Like, look at the rental laws, right? That happened in 19. Obviously, it's going horribly.
No, that was on the state level. I mean, that
But
was obviously
hear me
very
out,
bad.
right? Everyone knows it's very, very bad. It's obviously, very bad for New York. There's 1 million units vacant, or 100,000, or hundreds of thousands of units vacant,
It's
whatever
been
it
bad
is.
in every way.
Yeah, so it's been horrible. But how long is it going to take for everyone to realize it, change it? It's already been since 19. It's not being changed. It's
already been 6 years.
It's already going in a worse direction.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse
Yeah.
with Mondami if that happens.
It's
so
funny
can't wait it
too.
out.
And potentially who he points to positions within
we could
within
wait.
the city.
We could wait it out because of our age. But if you're at retirement age, what are you going to do? Just wait it out? No, you're making life decisions.
Yeah.
So you're pulling the trigger now.
Pulling trigger
Right now.
If you see someone like Mondami on the horizon, you have, you're ready to go. You're pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
You can't wait it out. It could be a 5, 6, 7 year thing.
Yeah.
I agree. It's going
And
to come back.
what do you think? Let's just go through this logic. So
Yeah.
Mamdani becomes mayor.
Yeah.
How does that negatively impact real estate ownership
If I
in
owned
New York City?
if I owned multifamily in New York City and
Rent stabilized or free
had,
market?
obviously mostly rent stabilized.
Yeah.
Free market
I mean-
too, like good cause, all this stuff. Like it's not great, but rent stabilized housing, which a lot of the housing is the big landlords own a lot of rent stabilized housing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, if you had hopes of the 2019 laws being reversed or changed or whatever it is,
Yeah.
It's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign because
Right.
he's not going to change those laws.
well, he
Yeah.
can't. He has nothing to do with those laws, but it
but
goes
he
to
puts
speak
in.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
the psychology of what
Correct.
the electorate wants out of the
Yeah.
representatives,
Yeah.
which is a more
Yeah.
socialist,
Yeah.
communist type of ideology than
Yeah.
what we experienced in the past.
Yeah. Like if you had 10 years, you're waiting.
Yeah.
But if you have like 2, you're not.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, I know. 10 years is a long time, and a lot of stuff can happen. There's a lot of macroeconomic factors that happen across the world that have an impact, obviously, on real estate and the value of the dollar and interest rates.
But Jersey's obviously here to talk about Jersey, but that's not far behind either, right?
Well, no, it depends.
So what's going on in Jersey?
It depends on which city we're talking about. But I'll just add one other thing, because you brought that up about what he could specifically do or not do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more about ideology, and it's not a thing where I think that like the things that he is saying are bad, right? Like I want to help this percentage of whatever the population is. We deal with it, and I'll get into like specific details on the Jersey side, but it's not that it's a bad idea to do these certain policies or whatever. Like I wear my political affiliations right on my sleeve, right? It's whoever is not going to take money from me in terms of like tax me more. But if you're going to tax me, just give me something for that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all.
Yeah, that's
I don't
that's
care
a fair thing to say.
if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just please don't take my hard-earned money and, forgive my language, but just piss it away.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately, I mean, we've been seeing this happen. It got with the whole. What was the Elon thing called? The Doge. Like you saw how, oh my God, look at what's going on. And then that just like dissipated. Like now nobody.
Take my tax out, but don't let me inhale urine in the
we
subways.
don't even talk about that anymore. But I
True.
think the specific problem that you have with this guy coming in, if he does, God forbid, get elected, is that he wants to do all of these great things for people in terms of giveaways and have,
free supermarkets
and buses and this and that systems that don't function now. He wants to make more dysfunctional by whatever.
Get rid of the cops.
Fine.
Yeah.
The problem is always, and we deal with this here, if you're going to just continue to give these things away, how are you going to pay for it? So the people that now you're basically forcing out, the top earners that have the flexibility to just live wherever they want.
Yeah.
They don't have to live here, let's be honest. And maybe they'll come back after values drop and and live even better. But they don't have to be here. So the people that you're forcing to be here, you're going to continue to tax, make it harder. And when it comes specifically to like our industry in real estate, you can't raise your income on rents, which is the only thing that these guys can do as far as like a property owner. I have to raise my rents in order, but you're going to continue to increase property taxes. You're going to increase all of these other expenses associated with operating a property and expect that to make sense. It's a losing proposition. And when you look at
it's a losing fight too, because we've been fighting this fight for how many years, and they don't see it, they don't understand it, they continue to make it worse and worse. Like,
absolutely,
it's a losing battle right now.
So in Jersey, we're dealing with the same thing. I'll just give you some specific examples. Right, in Jersey City right now, they've changed their policy. We have a mayor who is a Democrat. I think he's done an amazing job, like we just talked about before, in completely shifting the whole landscape of the way that place looks. The skyline, all the new developments, it's been great. But what's been happening behind the scenes is that the budget in a place like Jersey City is completely dysfunctional. Like they have some serious issues that are coming with the way that the municipality is operating. So what they've been doing is, like in most cases, they just look for who are the people that we could get money from the quickest and easiest. And in a place like Jersey City where there's so much development, that's from developers. So we sold a site for $12.5 million. It was a piece of land, nothing else happened. It got approvals. The city came back and reassessed that property for $30 million. They said that property that we sold for $12.5 was worth more than double. So I felt so bad for the guy that bought it. I walked into the tax assessor's office and I said to them, like, I sold this property, I sold this property, I sold this one. They're all near each other. These are all of the values. How are you coming up with this? Like, are you telling me I sold this, it took 3 years, every single person looked at it, they decided not to bid on it, a $30 million property, but this one guy bought it for 12? Like I didn't do my job, I sold it for half of what it's worth. She said, she started giving me all these explanations on why it was valued for what it was, and none of them made sense. They were using the properties in the West Side. They were using examples of the West Side where rents are like $2,000 for a studio to downtown sales where it's like, $4,000, $5,000. So I said that makes no sense. So she said, okay, we'll settle with you. We'll meet in the middle at $20 million. He's like, I paid 12 for it. How am I settling in the middle at 12? So he had to go and fight it, and she knew that the process would take 2 years. Now, he could die, something could change where they would win because he would just walk away from the fight, or he has to continue to pay it every single year until the battle is over, which he ultimately won. And this has been happening. There's been so many developers where their properties have been over double been getting assessed, excuse me, where they are now challenging it and they're winning, and the city doesn't have enough money to pay back. So they're taking out bonds in order to pay back people for money that they took up.
Oh, because they have to pay back the years of paying this fake tax.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly. So it's
Who's buying the bonds?
who do you think's paying for it? They're gonna.
What's the rate they're offering on that?
All of the residents and the the taxpayers
Yeah.
that fund the entire city are the ones that ultimately have to pay for it. And Jersey's also had issues because they were getting a lot of funding. It's always the schools that has the biggest trouble. The Board of Eds. They were getting a lot of money from the federal government, and as we've seen this year, the federal government has decided to say, in certain cases, we're going to slash spending here, and here, and they're starting to take money out of Trenton, which was feeding into all of these schools. So now they have to figure out a different way. So, which leads us to what they've done recently, right? They've now just implemented this new mansion tax, they're calling it, which I think
This is everywhere in New Jersey.
This is everywhere in New Jersey. It only applies to certain properties, though, right? So, for example, industrial properties, it doesn't apply to. And in certain cases, I want to say, I'm not an accountant or lawyer, but I want to say in certain multifamily properties over X amount of units, it doesn't apply to. But what it does apply to is like the people that we were talking about before. The Italian guy that owned a business for X amount of years, it's a mixed-use property, and he's finally ready to sell. Now he's getting hit with an additional tax that he wasn't anticipating.
It's like a mixed use, like apartments over a store.
Exactly. Yeah, anything that's defined as 4A, that's the way we do it in Jersey, is getting taxed.
So
and obviously,
mixed use,
residential properties, houses, which
6 family, 10 family.
We don't sell. When it gets over a certain limit, so we're talking about, if they were going to do it, they would do it to the institutional owners that own like the bigger, but it doesn't apply to them. It applies to the smaller people. So it was they define it as, you call it mansion tax, and you're thinking in your mind like, oh, this is going to all the millionaires, and that's not the case with people that own like $1 million 4A commercial property. That's like everywhere. Like that's just bread and butter.
How much is the tax?
So the tax goes 1% additional tax, whatever you have to pay in like capital gains and everything. This is just an added, basically like an added expense, because you can't write it off, to the sales price so it goes from, it's a progressive tax. It goes from 1 million to 2 million is 1%. After 2 million, it goes up to 2%. After 2 million to 3 million, it goes up to 3%. And then it caps at 3%, or it could cap at 3.5%. But my point is that,
so it's like $100,000 on a $3 million
another
sale.
transfer tax, essentially.
Exactly.
You're double paying transfer tax.
So I'll give you,
In most cases, probably more.
That's on the sale price.
Yeah.
I think the deadline was July 10th, right? So any deal that got signed under contract that doesn't close before November, it takes effect after July 10th. We were up till 11 o'clock at night signing contracts between buyer and seller on one deal that we just put under contract in order to make sure that we were going to be exempt from this mansion tax on.
It's insane.
And we got it done.
2 to 3% is massive.
So that's gonna slow down
Well,
sales.
Yeah, I mean,
houses too, right? You sell a house.
In certain cases, they're going to start looking at, which they've already made very difficult. They're going to start looking at the brokers and being like, it's like the way that they go after taxing developers. Now they're going to start to look at brokers and say, what can you do to add into this?
And Jersey just pulled this. Didn't they
this.
jack up the real estate taxes last year or 2 years ago?
Real estate taxes, it's all individual, right? Like each municipality has its own different taxes.
Let's say Jersey City, right? Journal Square. Let's say that.
Yeah.
They jacked it up.
I know, yes. Jersey City, and like I said before, I think, unfortunately, Jersey City probably has some rough roads ahead of it. That's why the mayor who was running for governor, unfortunately, he lost. You could say unfortunately or fortunately, but he didn't even win Hudson County.
You're talking about Fulop?
Yeah. Yeah, he spent a lot of money. He was on everyone's TVs for a while there. Didn't even win Hudson County. I think you're probably going to see a shift towards a red governor coming into New Jersey.
Oh, really?
For sure. I think he was very close last time.
Yeah.
This Jack Citarelli, I think, if I didn't pronounce that right, Apologies. But I think you're probably going to see it. I went to bed that night and election night looking, and he was actually winning. And then when I woke up, they were counting in all the mail-in ballots from all
the
them.
mail-in ballots.
And he ended up getting edged out by Murphy. I think this time you're starting to really see a shift. I think potentially he could win. But, you know, they're in Jersey City specifically, with Fulop going out, there's some very similar people to Mamdani that are trying to take his position that have a very good case that they could potentially become the next mayor. And they're anti-development, anti-developer. All developers are corrupt. So I don't know how you can build additional units and provide more affordable housing and do things like that when you kind of have that kind of mindset. So for us as a firm, geographically, we've been trying to spread out. We've been doing deals in other municipalities. And I think the luxury that we also have is that we could sell other asset classes.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
So we've been selling more land. We've been selling more industrial, more retail, whatever it is that we can kind of pivot to. We can.
100%. You got to pivot. You got to just follow the flow of capital.
Yeah, exactly.
That's been one of the things I've always done is like I listen to the buyers and, you know, I understand what it is that they want to buy. Yeah. Like, where's the money want to be placed, and then just go find those.
That's it. We tell our brokers every Monday morning. It's not
like
listing properties is awesome, and obviously it's our business.
Yeah.
But if you can't sell it, like, you want to focus on things that people want to buy.
Yeah.
Where you can bid the price up, or it's going to have a good sales transaction. Like for us in New York right now, that's land, free market buildings, anything with like redevelopment potential. But yeah, like the RS, like it's tough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, development's been huge. There's a huge boom.
A good time to pivot to our new sponsor, Saratoga.
Oh, is that?
Saratoga, yeah. It's our new
Saratoga.
sponsor,
It's good. I like that.
Yeah.
When I saw it first, I wanted to just get a bowl and stick my face in the water.
It's got a beautiful bottle. It does.
So why else are people selling? Like, if rates are still high, I mean, I understand the political dynamics. People are pulling the trigger for that.
We have opinion of values that we did a year ago, and that was really it. It was somebody that just said, like, I'm throwing in the towel. I was ready a year ago, but rates didn't drop. I'm ready. I was ready then. I'm really ready now.
Yeah. Okay.
I do not see where rates are going to continue to fall. But I think obviously everyone has their own individual stories. You know, everyone has different things. They're selling their business. They're moving out of state. They're doing this. They're doing that. People die. There's 1,000 different reasons. But I think the people that were motivated last year, anticipating this, you know, rate cuts everywhere, they're just like.
Why do you think, Luke, that this summer's been so hot for activity for us?
Why do I think this summer's been so hot?
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of our sellers, right? A lot of sellers, if you're dealing with professional sellers, they are looking to sell for the most money, and they're looking for rates coming down or something changing with the mayor or whatever it is. But most of our sellers are selling for a reason, and a lot of it's retirement, and they're looking to do other things. And obviously they want to sell into a good environment, but I don't think it matters as much. But you're asking why?
I always felt like.
Well, hold on,
all right, go ahead.
Done yet.
All right, keep going. Let's hear it.
I think
he's just getting warmed up.
Come on, today.
All right,
we're waiting.
So why have people bought so much? I'll tell you why.
You can answer however you want.
All right, so buyers. All right, so development has been ridiculous. I think people know that it's inevitable that rates will come down, and they want to buy now before that happens. Anyone that owns rentals in, let's say, Brooklyn or Manhattan, for example, the rents are astronomical, and it's very hard to build. And I think that people want to build into that market, right? Rents are crazy, and there's no reason for it to come down. There's a huge supply issue, right? So I think people are trying to do that, right? Like the stabilized rents, obviously that's now done.
Yep.
Free market rents, there's good cause eviction, so people are moving less, and obviously that the tax abatements are tough, and there hasn't been people building. So there is a need for housing, and I think people think that there's a need. Rates are going to come down. Let me buy now, and they're pushing really hard, and that's why the summer's been so hot.
Do you think people think there's going to be inflation of rents?
Inflation, yeah. That's good.
I'm just asking. Do you think that goes into the calculation of why buyers are being extra aggressive right now?
I think Yanni brought this up. So yeah, inflation, obviously. Yanni brought this up that a lot less people are buying homes. So people are renting. People that historically would have, at this stage in their life and their income bracket, bought a home are definitely not. I can litter this conversation with examples of people I know personally.
They've also been saying that the average age of a current home buyer now has shifted from when it used to be like 27 years old or, young. Now it's like you're 35.
Yep.
Or older.
Yeah. Well, I just heard some stat
Especially
the
in the
other day.
tri-state area.
Well, this is national now because obviously rates are affecting the whole country, but like the whole mindset now has been like has just shifted. So people
100%.
are more comfortable now just renting than they are purchasing, and probably because you just can't.
Yeah,
there's just really no inventory to buy. I know anecdotally by me, you are starting to see pricing start to come down. And one other quick thing, I don't mean to cut you off, Luke, but
No, please.
We saw this, especially during COVID. Like you were having conversation with guys that were like New York developers, Jersey developers that like left. We're going down to Texas.
Yeah.
We're going to
That was a big
Carolinas. We're
thing.
going to all the. And now look at those markets. Those markets are suffering so bad. Why? Because if you want the next ranch in Texas, you could just go down on your horse and there's another ranch right there. Or in Florida. Look how bad Florida is, right?
Yeah.
We had family that left. They moved to the West Coast. Thank God. I think they're doing great with what they had purchased. But like you're starting to see now places like Lakeland Ranch and outside of that Tampa area, values are just dropping. I think some of it has to do with like insurance and flooding and everything else, all the storms. But it's also just there's so much supply.
They let people build.
Yeah, exactly.
And like New York, it's so hard to build.
The fundamentals that we've had here that have always been here with supply and demand, they're not creating any more land here, and it's probably even gotten harder to build here.
Correct.
Is not changing. So when people left here thinking that they were going to just, I hope they made quick money, but you've heard more stories of people kind of getting banged up and hurt in the markets where they tried to flee to and now coming back to try and put money here.
I always said this. New York, you have a major appreciation play. It doesn't exist other places. It's about cap rates and yield.
Yeah.
And when rents go down or expenses, insurance for example, go up, you're done.
Yeah.
Because you don't have like the appreciation that you have or like the rental appreciation. Like there's been, I can't even believe it's true, but it is obviously true. But there is major rental appreciation in New York City in the last couple of years. When you can think it can get any higher, it does.
Yeah.
Mostly because they're just reducing the supply.
100%.
It's supply constrained.
Yeah, which is obviously cheating. I
Yeah.
mean, it's also
And
it's
people want to be
artificial.
here.
Yeah. We've been big beneficiaries of that in Jersey.
100% you have.
Big
I can't believe
beneficiaries of
Hoboken
that.
rents.
Yeah.
And Hoboken, obviously, people think of Hoboken as like the prime, very close to the city. It is nuts. $10,000 for 3 beds, double crazy rents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, they're comparable to New York,
Absolutely.
Manhattan,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
definitely.
So
All right, cool. Is there anything else, Yanni, that we should hit on?
I had one thing I was going to throw out here if you guys are
Please.
open to this.
Let's do
I kind of wanted to like mix things up a little bit,
Okay.
add like a new kind of element to this.
Okay.
So I
good.
saw this once a while back. This is for you two, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a word, okay?
Okay.
And whatever word I
Oh,
give
goodness.
you, okay, I've got a combination of words. It'll get harder as we go on.
it's
And
easier.
you guys just give me whatever the first thing is that comes to your mind. So like for example,
it's like an IQ test.
no.
I think that's how they go,
This
don't
is just how do you see the world? What do you see going
Okay.
on? Like share
All right.
with me your thoughts.
This could be
right?
fun.
I mean, we could edit it out if it sucks, but I think it's
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Leave
It
it.
would be great. Okay. Like for example, if I say Liberty Bagels, which I know Luke loves, he would say like the best bagels on earth,
We
something
just
like
said,
that.
Our retail team just signed a nice lease with them, so that's
go.
what came to
Yeah.
mind.
So that's
So-
the example.
They are good bagels.
Keep
The
it
best.
to like 2-3 words, one word if possible,
Okay.
and we'll just try and run
Ooh,
through
one
these
word,
real
it's
quick.
tough.
All right. So I'll give you the easy layups first. I'll go with you first, Derek. Right. 2019 rent loss.
Horrible.
Perfect. See, that's how this game works. It's very
Yeah.
very easy. Okay. AI in real estate.
Could be bad. Or
My word is interesting.
yeah. And, it's one word's the rule, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. AI.
If you want to
that's a hard
elaborate on it,
answer.
yeah.
'Cause it's going to be good or it could be bad.
Right.
Could be
I think
both.
a lot of people.
I'm loving AI right now.
Yeah, it's been.
It makes me feel like all this mental like capacity, the brain load that I had to deal with, and so many different things like to think through, and then I just throw it in
We're
AI.
in the game, but go on.
I bounce my thoughts off AI, and it helps me to crystallize.
You
my
were a
thinking.
little too addicted to the Gronk, but it is what it is. It's good.
It's not Gronk.
Grok.
It's Grok.
Derek, this is
Grok
for you.
4.
Okay.
Friendliest broker at IPRG.
Zach Siskin.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Well, this one was for you.
Sorry, Yanni.
Best.
And me. What about me?
I mean, I don't know what to call you. The
I'm not-
friendliest.
I'm not the
You know what I
friendliest.
call you.
Best dressed broker at IPRG.
Donald.
Could be Jersey too. You could throw Jersey in
So
there.
obviously Homer's jersey.
Dre, come on.
Dre, I forgot about Dre. Dre's the
Let's
best
be
dressed.
honest.
Dre's number one
Dre's
dress.
got such a good fashion
Donald's been
sense.
upping his game though. He looks good.
Okay. All right.
Donald has
We're gonna
it. Donald
keep. We
looks
got
good.
a couple more here. We got to move through these. Congestion pricing. Now you don't travel the way I do, so you might not really be aware.
Is that
of this.
still in place?
See, and that was the thing. I didn't realize this.
Here's my
until
answer to congestion
recently.
pricing, and this might be controversial, but
Whatever.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't
Whatever,
even. I didn't
yeah.
even know until I saw my last Easy Pass. I thought Trump said that was God.
Luke
It's-
goes, whatever.
That's my one word. There's worse.
This is a guy that lives in the city. Doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit. This is for you, Eric Adams.
Better.
Now you guys. Now
Great choice at this point.
He's
Yeah,
like
the best
the,
choice.
The Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore, right
Yeah.
now, considering
Better than
I've
all
liked
the
him
rest.
as a mayor a lot.
I think he's doing a great
I mean,
job.
come on, compared to what we had with De Blasio.
I love
Okay.
you need to have a cop friendly mayor, and he is
Yeah.
very cop friendly.
Yeah.
Because he used to be a cop, but I think he's the best option we have by
Think about the
far.
riots that were going on in
By
LA
far.
a couple months ago. Like that didn't happen here.
I'll tell you
That's
this.
good for the city.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to move this around because I don't
Yeah.
want to end with the one that I was.
It's supposed to be
gonna end with, 'cause
one word, so
Okay. Either one of you guys. Office to resi conversion. Is it a thing? Is it really
It's happening.
crowded is my. It's crowd. I hear it too much.
I like that.
It's obviously happening.
I
It's
like that.
Crowded. I think.
I like that.
That could be overdone.
There's also really good potential
Serious potential.
in situations.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there was just go ahead.
Jerome Powell.
Out.
Behind the curve.
Yeah.
The future of New Jersey real estate. It better be on a high note if I left it for last.
Honestly, high note. I mean, it gets better every year, and I think there's a opportunity. Is my word. Opportunity.
I love that.
Mine is upward trajectory.
For
which is
sure.
2 words, but that's where I see it
it's
going.
what it is. It's a big opportunity.
I love that. I
All
love
right.
that.
All right, this is
Fun
great.
game.
Yeah,
Thanks,
bring me
Johnny.
back. Don't make it
All
another
right, we'll bring
2
you back.
years.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
100%. Let's
Absolutely.
wrap there. Good times.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, man.
I appreciate it.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it.